All right, joining me now with some expert analysis on today's big news out of the Supreme Court, Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Great to see you today, Judge.
Good to be with you, Shannon.
All right, so it's interesting to get that tie decision. You get a one-page, one-sentence report that essentially says we're split, it's done. It leaves that lower court ruling in place.
It does, and the lower court ruling addresses the president's overreach, which is not the basis on which the trial court made its ruling. So the trial court said to the president, you didn't follow the Administrative Procedure Act, you didn't promulgate the rules, you didn't give the Congress and the public a chance to follow up on what you wanted to do. The appellate court said, you rewrote the law. You overextended yourself. That's the law of the case now. So think about it. One trial judge and two appeals court judges, three human beings have enjoined the entire Department of Justice, the entire Department of Homeland Security, and the President of the United States from enforcing his version of the laws that he wrote in his executive orders.
And you remember one of the lower court judges here got involved with chastising the Justice Department because he felt like the lawyers in this case had lied to him repeatedly about what the administration was really doing.
This is a very, very serious issue. So the 26 states that sued the Justice Department and the President and the Department of DHS asked for an injunction prospectively to stop the government from enforcing these executive orders in the future. 4 times the court asked the lawyers for the DOJ, have there been any applications so far? Have you been following the President's executive order up to this point? 4 times they said no. It turned out they were not telling the truth. Over 100,000 undocumented immigrants have been granted asylum or residence or permanent residence, we don't know which, under the President's executive order before the case got to the judge. He was so furious when he lied to them. He ordered everybody in the Justice Department to take ethics courses. But more important than that, he wants to know who are the 100,000 people. I want their green cards. We have to undo this. So the Justice Department has compounded this by not telling the truth to a judge.
And today the President and Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, a number of other prominent Democrats said this emphasizes the need for that 9th justice. You and I agree both on a couple of things, that Justice Garland would have meant a very different outcome in this case.
Yes.
But also that I don't think it's going to move Republican leadership at all to move on his nomination.
No, I think that the Republican leadership in the Congress, here we're talking about the Senate, which sometimes is chastised for caving to the White House, and some of that chastisement has come from us, is not going to budge on this issue. They are either convinced that Donald Trump is going to be elected, and you'll see a vastly different nominee than Judge Garland, or that Hillary Clinton is going to be elected, and she has the right to make her own nominee, whether it's Judge Garland or not. But they are not going to budge and vote on this nomination.
I don't think they will. Okay, at least not before the election. Now, we also have the affirmative action case today. University of Texas system, if you graduate in the top 10% of your high school class, you're automatically admitted. But that next tier of the remaining open spots, there's a holistic approach, and they do use race as one of the criteria. Today, the court said for now they can continue with that.
This is a surprising result in my view. The University of Texas system, obviously owned by the state of Texas. The state of Texas, as all the states are, prohibited from making decisions based on race, except in certain narrow circumstances. A series of laws or proposals that the court calls strict scrutiny, meaning you have to have the strongest of reasons to do this. Justice Kennedy says, if they say it's a strong reason, it's a strong reason. Justice Alito said, you've abdicated our role as judges by just blindly following what these education folks in Texas want to do.
And he was very heated. Justice Scalia's dissenting opinion twice as long as the majority opinion. Excuse me, it felt like Justice Scalia today. It felt like Justice Scalia in that dissent today, because he was very fired up and read part of his dissent from the bench as well. So, all right, Judge, great to see you today.
Pleasure to be with you. Until the next time.
Okay.